All right, good evening. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Before we open our meeting, I'm going to open with a moment of silence. Following the moment of silence, we're going to have members of our Gallatin High School choir come up and lead us in a pledge to the flag, followed by a stirring rendition of America the Beautiful. So if you want to join me for a moment of silence, feel free to do so. Choir would like to step up to the front here and lead us in our pledge to the flag.
I didn't know I had that option. Miss Lucy Alleguera is the choir director at Gallatin High School, where she conducts the chamber, treble, concert, and a cappella choirs. She earned her bachelor's degree in music education from Tennessee Tech University. She serves on the board for the Middle Tennessee Vocal Association as the solo and ensemble chair. Miss Alleguera also sings professionally with the Nashville Symphony Chorus and performed at Carnegie Hall in February of 2024. She was the recipient of the 2025 TMEA Outstanding Young Music Educator Award and most recently named a 2026 CMA Teacher of Excellence semifinalist. She has served as the choir director for the Southeastern Chamber of Music Institute. And fun fact, in her free time, she loves going to Disney with her band director husband. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriots' dreams that sees beyond the east, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Ms. Hayes that that sweater is Gallatin gold and not Hendersonville gold? All right. I call to order tonight's February 17, 2026 regularly scheduled meeting of the Sumner County School Board. Great way to start off our meeting, hearing from the Gallatin Green Wave Choir. I also see that we've got some folks from, I believe, Union Elementary joining us as well out there. So hello, 2 schools that I went to. Just want to throw that out there. Great schools, best schools in the county, Gallatin High School and Union. So just so everybody knows. But that being said, let's go ahead and start tonight's meeting. Mr. Johnson, can you take roll call? Thank you. First item on the agenda, adoption of the regular agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, adoption of the consent agenda. Motion to approve. Motion to approve. Second. Comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approve. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is consideration of minutes from January 20th, 2026. Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is recognition and hearing of delegations. First delegation was Gallatin High School Choir, who we just heard. Next group is both Madeline Bush and Ruby Blackburn, Preservation Foundation Society essay contest winners. Ms. Hayes.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't have me to say it multiple times.
You have to step up. This evening, I wanted to have a chance to recognize, come on up. Mom and Dad, yes, you're gonna be pictured here in a minute anyway. Allison is a public school teacher here in this county. We appreciate, Adam was, and he's now with Gallatin First Baptist Church. So I know they're very proud of their daughter. But I saw on Facebook where Deanne DeWitt, who is the executive director of the Preservation Foundation in this county, had posted about their essay contest. 2 of the students that won, students in our public county schools. So Allison, and I'm gonna let Deanne share a little bit more about the competition and the topics of the essay. But it was on the history of Sumner County. And they got to choose and pick what they wanted to write about. Allison won the competition. Excuse me,
Yes.
Mom, Madeline won. You won the competition too. But Allison won.
Yes.
Madeline won the competition, and it was beautifully written. You all have copies of the essays Deanne passed around. Ruby Blackburn was also an acknowledged award winner. She's a Merrill High Magnet student. She has a basketball game. So she's not able to be here tonight, but I'll make sure that she gets her medallion. So I'm gonna let the executive director of the Preservation Foundation share with you about the competition. And Ms.
Perfect.
DeWitt, thank you.
Thank you, my friend Tammy. Thank you all. Thank you for the opportunity to brag about Madeline and brag a little bit about our history. So Deanne DeWitt, I founded the Preservation Foundation in 2020, originally motivated by looking for a solution for the Comer Barn property. At the heart of what the Preservation Foundation, and there was a mine incorporating treasure sitting over there, as a matter of fact. Wasn't even thinking about that until I just walked up and made eye contact. But we had a mission, and it was really to preserve the identity of this fabulous community. And that Comer Barn property is a great example of something that really helps define the identity of this beautiful community. Beyond that, we know that the way forward is to help connect our hearts to these stories and these places that really make it special. And so that's where this essay contest comes in. We especially feel motivated to try to help the next generation understand and appreciate the history. So Tammy, wherever you went, I'm especially grateful. America 250, here we are in the year of 2025, and this is the first year after doing this essay for a few years that we're celebrating it. So I'm glad we're taking a moment to highlight it. The essay contest, our theme was Bridging the Past, Uncovering Hidden Connections in Sumner County's Historic Landscape. As I hope most of you know, we have a rich tapestry of historic sites. They each have their own story. This was a pretty challenging essay question, and what we asked entrants to do is really take a step beyond that to look for an unexpected or compelling connection between two or more sites. So I'm going to give you just a tiny bit of a history lesson. Tammy already mentioned, Ruby Blackburn was our honorable mention. She did an essay connecting Mott Haven to Hazel Path. Those are two sites that still exist today, and go visit them if you haven't recently. So certainly applause to her as well. But our contest winner, Madeline Bush, she did receive $1,000 for this fabulous essay. I always feel bad that Ruby didn't get anything, but listen, there can only be one winner. So her essay was called Faith Rooted in Soil. And I'm just going to read you a little bit from her essay and give you, like I said, just a tiny bit of this history lesson. Madeline wrote, I grew up attending First Baptist Church on Main Street in Gallatin, and it became my second home. Quoting you, Madeline. The grounds were once home to a pioneering girls' school. I'm not reading the entire essay, I'm just reading you some highlights. There were pioneering girls' schools on that property, on the grounds of what is now First Baptist, starting as early as the 1820s. Institutions including the Gallatin Female Academy, the Sumner Female Academy, later the Howard Female Institute. Here's your first clue. Eventually Howard Female College from 1878 to 1922. And in the 1920s, the property became Howard Elementary School, serving children in that community for more than 50 years. The property remained a place where young people came to learn until First Baptist Church purchased it in 1982. And really the summary statement that I think really just landed on the hearts of the essay selection committee is how you wrap this up. To me, this is a full circle moment and feels symbolic. A place that has shaped the minds of students for well more than a century, shifted to a place that shapes hearts and faith. And for you, we are very grateful for sharing that. Congratulations.
Madeline is a Gallatin High School student. So, Mr. Daniels, why don't you come down and be a part of this?
Can you all look this way real quick?
Okay,
For
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, she is actually Union's fabulous music teacher.
My sweet students back there. Oh, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I will say before our next group comes up, we probably see Miss Bush soon with her Union Choir, singing for us to open up one of our meetings in future months as soon as we get that locked in. And growing up at First Baptist Church, I played many a night in the old Howard School. It was probably not safe at the time. I'm lucky I survived, but man, it was a great school and a great part of our community. So thank you very much. Your essay was fabulous. So with that, Mr. Lancaster.
Oh, yeah, me. Well, I mean, you know, of any representative on the board, if it comes to fashion, I would be the one that would, be the representative and bring forth the next group. But these group of kids, or students, at Liberty Creek High School, when I first heard about what they were planning on doing with Empower Her Closet, I was interested and thought, that's a really good idea, because it's about to be prom season and then homecoming season, and as a dad of a teenage daughter, I don't know last time everybody in this room bought a prom or homecoming dress. It's not the funnest thing in the world. For a dad, it's just, here you go, and just, you hope for the best. But at the same time, everybody needs to go to prom, experience prom, have the homecoming. Those are like just part of growing up and going to high school and experiencing high school. So when you have that potential of a huge cost for these dresses to make these young ladies look beautiful, not to make them look beautiful, make them more beautiful. This idea that they came up with as a way to provide dresses for people, for anybody in Sumner County, is just a great idea. And so I want them to come up, Maddie Herron, Mariah Payton, and Josie Mitchell. And I thought when they, they haven't had this going for very long. And I was like, well, they probably got 30 or 40 dresses. I was thinking that's a really good number, 30 or 40 prom dresses. But I'll let them tell you how many they've already gotten, and it's pretty impressive. So, ladies.
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to thank Chairman Daniels and Mr. Lancaster and the rest of the board members for letting us have this opportunity to speak tonight. We're proud to present our FCCLA project, Empower Her Closet, and we'll share our inspiration and what we've accomplished and the impact we hope to continue making after this year. Okay, there we go. Okay. FCCLA stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America and is a national student organization that helps members build leadership skills while preparing for careers focused on family, community, and personal growth. Students take part in meaningful service projects, competitive events, and leadership activities that promote responsibility, teamwork, and real-world readiness. STAR events stand for Students Taking Action with Recognition. These are competitive FCCLA events held at the state and national level. Through STAR events, members complete real-world projects and presentations that apply to leadership and career skills. Participating helps strengthen important skills like public speaking, organization, professionalism, and critical thinking, all of which prepare us for future careers and opportunities.
A chapter service project is a team-based STAR event where the entire chapter works together to identify and address a real need in their school or community. We have researched an issue in our community, set measurable goals, and created a detailed action plan to guide our project and help the problem be addressed. Throughout this process, students develop leadership, teamwork, organization, and problem-solving skills. The project is then presented at competition to demonstrate both the impact made and the skills gained.
One of the main issues we identified is what we call the prom dress problem. Prom dresses often follow fast fashion trends, meaning styles change from year to year. Because of this, many dresses are only worn once and then hung up in closets. As a result, many dresses go to waste, even though they are still in great condition, which inspired us to find a better solution. Vogue magazine states a quarter of families admit that their children haven't gone to prom because they couldn't afford it. Dresses can also be very expensive, ranging from $70 to $800. And since trends change so frequently, they are often hard to resell. Our solution is Empower Her Closet, a community dress drive that helps women in Sumner County access free quality dresses in a respectful boutique-style manner. Instead of just giving donations, we created a welcoming event where participants can choose a dress that builds confidence at no cost. We also provide drinks and snacks to make the experience supportive and comfortable.
Our goal is to ensure every girl in Sumner County can choose a dress and feel confident for free. We also wanted to address overconsumption rates. Formal dresses are expensive, so if we could take that weight off someone's shoulders, we would love to. We never want someone to miss out on a memorable moment because of a dress. In partnership with the Family Resource Center, we have collected 250 dresses through donations. We are still collecting dresses until February 26th.
We would like to thank our generous community partners for making this event possible. We would also like to give a special thank you to the Sumner County Schools Family Resource Center, along with Kathy Graff and the entire staff for partnering with us on this event. Thank you. Help us spread the word. Scan the QR code to follow our social pages and share this event with others. Dress donations are being accepted through February 26th. Items can be dropped off at the Sumner County Schools Family Resource Center, at Central Office, or at Liberty Creek High School. For sponsorship opportunities, please contact LCHS FCCLA Advisor. And finally, join us on February 28th to attend the event and pick out a dress. We hope to see you there. Thank you again for this opportunity. Does anyone have any questions?
Mr. King?
Yeah, do you guys have a Facebook page or something on social media? So if we were to just search for Empower Her Closet, we'd be able to find that?
Yes,
Okay.
if you scan the QR code, it leads you right to our Facebook
Okay.
page.
Please, questions?
I have another comment. Sorry. I don't think y'all realize just what y'all have accomplished, is what I don't think. Because 250 dresses, I bet some of my kids back here can do this math, because I think I got it in my head, but 250 dresses, and it maybe, I think 500 is a low ballpark on what some of these cost. That's $125,000. My man says I'm right. I thought I was in my head. I left my phone up there. $125,000 of donations that you're giving back to the students in the community. That's pretty impressive in a short time. So it's very, very commendable. Very, very proud of all of y'all. And just y'all done. Y'all should be taking.
Ms. Stewart?
Ms. Hayes has a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman. Somebody else might.
I'm not the chairman.
So, Ms. Stewart?
Are y'all seniors?
We're sophomores.
So this is something you're going to continue to do and
We hope to continue to do it next year.
then pass it on, pass the torch on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's our goal.
That's what I need to know. Thank you so much.
Ms. Prinny?
Fantastic presentation. I can tell you guys have been practicing and you have some skills that are going to take you very far. Are you all from the same school, and will you partner in the future with other schools?
Right now, we have tried to partner with other schools. We've partnered with Station Camp. We partnered with Beach, Gallatin, and Schaefer. Yes.
That's awesome. Great job, lady.
Thank you.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Girls, will you all take this to state? Is this your, when will that be?
It'll be April 9th through the 11th in Chattanooga.
Okay, I'm praying for you guys. This is awesome. I think y'all are gonna come out the winner on this one, on a state level. This is amazing. And that was part of my question, part of what I was gonna comment. If you were partnering with other high schools, have you reached out to HHS?
I don't think we've reached out to them yet. I know Miss Kathy has sent out some
Okay.
to the counselors, but yes.
Let Lisa Paul know about this. Thank you.
Mr. Evans?
Yeah, my only question, or maybe if this, you guys have already thought about this, great. But I do think about maybe the families or some of our young females that maybe don't feel comfortable coming to an event or might feel embarrassed. Are you guys going to provide the service to people that maybe if they don't feel comfortable coming to that single event? Like how would they still be able to request or be able to utilize this? Because it's awesome.
They can reach out to us, and we may be able to come up with a time for them to just come in on their own and shop. We also are providing refreshments and snacks to try to make this as comfortable as possible. We have changing tents so we don't have to change in restrooms, etc. And we are really just trying our best to make this as comfortable for everyone as possible.
We're also, once we get done with the event, giving all the dresses we've got donated to Miss Kathy at the Resource Center so she can hopefully reach some more students in need.
That's awesome. Any other questions? Dr. Langford?
Oh, I thought we were gonna take pictures.
No, didn't know, I saw you stand up. I thought you had something exciting to
No,
share.
I mean, it just exemplifies everything we hope as a school system. We've been talking about Sumner Gives Back. And what I love about this is this is 110% student initiated. And this is what I love about our kids in Sumner County Schools. They're looking for ways to give back, to take care of their peers. And, you know, I've said it as much as I can that our kids are mission minded when we provide them support and guidance and opportunity. And what I love for y'all is that, you know, there are a lot of different things you could have done for this project and a lot of different things you could have done to win state. But the fact that you're pouring your heart into something to make life better for others. You know, I grew up the son of a high school principal, and he thought everybody should have a great experience at prom. And I think a lot of high school principals feel that way and do everything they can to help make that possible. But the dress, as Mr. Lancaster said, the dress is a big sticking point. And I know a lot of our cosmetology departments across the county do hair, do nails, do everything they can to help. And it exemplifies the great work that our schools do. And it's so exciting to see 3 young women step forward and take such a positive step to help your classmates. And so from the bottom of my heart and from our heart, thank you so much for what you're doing.
All right, before we move on, Dr. Langford, do you want to take a second to introduce our wonderful group from Union in the back?
Yes, actually, Ms. Donahoe, could you come up and to the mic over there? It's over there. So Ms. Donahoe has done a lot of great student leadership projects over the years. She moved over to Union a couple years ago and has really brought what she had in middle school there. And it's great to see our leadership kids. I'm going to let her give you a little bit of a background on what they're doing because it's exciting.
All right, so yeah, I've been at Union for about 4 years now. So luckily, I have great friends like Miss Jones and Miss Davis is over there as well that helped me head. This is our core 4, so they are 4th graders that will move into leadership. And at Union, we have several leadership teams that are led by a lot of our 5th grade teachers. And we were just
or I just noticed that I was like, are our fourth graders really leaders yet? So we developed a leadership club. Every single month they have a service project. Sometimes they involve hands-on actually doing something, like they go and help at Crestwood Towers and do different leadership things. Every month they have words that they focus on that are leaders. And our words for, we spell out core 4, and we are on F. And our words for F were you had to be fervent. Tell me another one, Jackson. Feedback, be able to provide feedback. Yes, ma'am. And be faithful. So when we look at your leadership, and we did talk about how, because the neat thing about Union is they come from everywhere in the county. So every one of you sitting up here have a student at our school in some way, form, or fashion. And they leave us and they go to all the middle schools in Sumner County. So it's kind of neat experience in that sense. I, of course, had been at Rucker for a really long time. So to come to Union and be like, what do you mean you're going to White House? What do you mean you're going to Portland? So they leave us and they go all over the county. So to know that we have leaders in all the different schools, whether it's Liberty Creek, whether it's Gallatin, so it's all of your homes. And some go private, which also they become leaders there as well. So it's just really neat to get to see where they go. So we talked about how you are fervent in your leadership, how you are faithful, and how you provide feedback, and the importance of your feedback and your faithfulness to your district. And the fact that when you stand up and you are a voice for your district, you are providing what everyone needs. And that is what Dr. Langford needs to hear, is what your district thinks about those hot topics. So we look at the agenda for this meeting and we talk about all the things that are going to be happening. And then they take notes. So, and then next month we will be going to Gallatin Daycare, where we'll be hands-on and working with the Gallatin Daycare kids. So, you know, we just try to go out and serve in our communities and make sure that they understand that to be a leader, you have to be, number one, we have to meet. We have meetings once a month before we go do our service work. And then we go into our community and we see how can we be of service. So I loved that this meeting involved many of my lovely people, the girls that were up here presenting. Some of them are my Cotillion girls, and they are actually presenting this project at Cotillion because I'm the president of Cotillion for Gallatin. And then, of course, Madeline Bush, you know, Miss Bush is one of our, so this was a neat meeting for us. We've come at some times when it was hot topics. And then we have come other years where it's something like this, where we're getting to see all of our people, and I'm getting to see leadership continue beyond us. So thank you for your time, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for showing these kids that they have a place for what you're doing. So
Let's get all of the kids. Y'all can come up here. Let's get them.
I would love for all of y'all to get in. Y'all all represent the districts for every one of these children. Okay, scoot forward a little bit. Okay, ladies, let's try to extend it out so we don't scoot this way. Okay, eyes and ears facing front. He's going to take you, so come forward. Thank you so much. Okay, eyes and ears.
Everybody take everybody smile.
do want to mention, I think Ms. Donahoe kind of commented on this, but with all the Gallatin folks here, it's kind of like an episode of This Year Life, which is like an old 70s show, which means I'm really old for those of you that are sitting in the audience. But no, I did want to just kind of comment that I hope you, as the leaders at Union and future leaders of our community, have seen one of the things that we always talk about is building, making sure that we're giving kids every opportunity to succeed. When they graduate, to be career ready, whether that's college or career, whatever that is, but also be future leaders in our community. And I hope that you saw tonight so far with the different groups that we've been able to recognize, the shining stars, the examples, the great future community leaders that our school system is helping develop. That comes from the people that are in your schools every day, your teachers pouring into you, helping to teach you and to lead you. And you're lucky to be Sumner County students at this time, because we've got incredible teachers across this district, incredible schools, incredible staff, and you've got every opportunity in the world in front of you to be as successful as you can possibly be. So we're glad you're here, and we're always excited to be able to recognize groups like we have tonight. So with that being said, we'll move on to the really exciting part of the meeting that I know you'll really enjoy, and that is matters involving council. Do we have any matters involving council? No. We do not. All right. So no executive session, no comments from the attorney. Then we'll move on to reports from the director, the February director's report. Dr. Langford.
Yeah, I don't have a formal report or slide deck or anything, and that's much to Mr. Lancaster's chagrin. But wanted to run through a couple things. Like one, just what we've seen tonight. We start with choir that represents all of our kids across the county. They're in fine arts, and we've been very blessed the last two meetings to have different choirs here to sing. In the past, we've had orchestra, we've had a little bit of everything. And if you get the opportunity, I know Hendersonville last time mentioned their jazz band. It's absolutely exceptional. And if you go to Gallatin High School and see their choir or their theater program, and you can go around the county to each of the schools, and there's something just magnificent, fine arts. We jump in and we have students that have written essays that are being honored for capturing Sumner County history. I think it's really interesting that we're seeing a resurgence of students that are interested in history and historic preservation, and I think that that's exciting. We sit here as we're talking about the Innovation Center. I'm hopeful an area we can tap into is MTSU has one of the top historic preservation centers in the country, and they do work. Like one of my best friends has a PhD in historic preservation, and his dissertation was basically something very similar to this, like where the Nashville Rescue Mission was. Before that, it was the Sears building, and then before Sears warehouse, and then before that, it was a school for African American girls run by a Catholic organization from the north, and then before that, it had of course been a plantation. So, the richness of history in Sumner County. I had the opportunity to hear from a historian last night, one of our Sumner County teachers, talking about Andrew Jackson, and Sumner County has so many connections to Andrew Jackson. He's a law office on the square. He practiced law over where the Clark Douglas House is on Long Hollow Pike. Tennessee gave away the racing horse industry to Lexington, Kentucky. It was here before it was in Lexington. It's fascinating how our history, and if we tell that history, it captivates our students. So really excited about ways we can do that. Our CTE programs are deeply involved in competition, and what I love about it is it's more than just a competition for them to win awards and go to national tournaments. Like you see, our kids are swinging for the fences and developing projects that make a meaningful impact on the lives of fellow students. And so to see the Sumner Gives Back, to see this project for prom dresses, it's a big deal in the life of a child. And to not go because you don't have a dress is something that's almost unconscionable. And so for them to have that drive to put that together is just really inspirational to me. I think, we saw leadership starting with students, and I'm always amazed. There's really no age that's too young to start talking about student empowerment, student voice, and student leadership. I know last year when we were doing strategic planning, it was the first year H.B. Williams had gone to K2, and HB before that had a really strong student ambassador, student leadership team, and Mr. Witt was really excited because he's like, we're going to keep our student leadership team, we're going to figure out what K2 students can do. And I know if we talk to them, we'll be blown away by what they're able to do too. So I'm very excited to see y'all already asking questions. Y'all asked great questions tonight. Really proud of you as a group and being here tonight and learning. Most adults don't know how local government functions, so the fact that you understand how the school board and the county commission and other parts of local government work is a real testament that'll carry you in life to understand how much those things impact your life. Last week we had a big week at the Innovation Center. I won't run through everything here, but we were able last Wednesday morning to host about 25 different national and state leaders. We had the number 2 from Tennessee Economic Development at the state level. We had XQ as a national curriculum developer. They were here. Cisco, Apple, a number of other national and state partners were here. We got to feature our work at Ford Sumner, which is Sumner County's economic development arm. And then we got to go back in the afternoon with about 45 people and do some closed door planning about what we could do for the future at the Innovation Center, for our Sumner County students. Just a few highlights. The afternoon, in addition to the national partners that I mentioned earlier, we had everybody from the CEO of Hendersonville Hospital, CEOs and vice presidents from several of our banks, a number of people in all kinds of different industries, from civil engineering to we had just people from all over the country and state and Sumner County come back and work to think about how we could start to develop what we're going to call transformational learning experiences. I shared this with you at the retreat, but to think about how we get kids asking, like our young women today, you see how hungry kids are to do this. They ask a question, we empower them to answer it, and then we provide them mentors and subject matter experts, and you start to see instruction come to bear based on what they need to complete that finished product or finished goal. And kids will carry that away. Our 3 young women tonight will learn lessons here that they'll carry with them and memories that they'll carry for the rest of their life. It'll be not just imprinted in something that they get a report card grade for, but it'll be imprinted on the fabric of their soul, and that's what we really want to do. One of the most powerful things when we were doing the tours, I think we've all showcased the Innovation Center a lot. I think what was really amazing is this is the first time that I've done a tour when we had students in the building. And so the very first place that we stopped was our aviation group, and we had every high school in the county represented there except Liberty Creek because they have aviation on campus. But all the other high schools were represented there. And those kids were on fire, so many of them considering careers in aviation. Jumping forward to the Ford Sumner event, we had a gentleman that's very steeped in the Sumner County aviation world talking about future partnerships with flight schools and aviation mechanic programs and things like that, just from the opportunity of spinning out and them getting to see the great things that our kids are capable of doing. We went upstairs after that and met first with our criminal justice class, and the teacher, the instructor of the criminal justice class is the department chair of Ball State, and he started the program. And one of the themes that we've talked about is problem solving, AI, things like that. And so I just asked him how he saw AI impacting law enforcement, and I was expecting it to be something like Mr. Presnell and I have had some conversations about how it affects things like evidentiary rules in an age where you can just kind of make stuff up and it looks real. How do you establish what's really real in a court? But he showed, before we got up there, he had just done a mini lesson with his class about the missing person in Arizona, Nancy Guthrie. And he had shown the class how you could take a picture of the blood spatter and look it up in an AI tool, and it would tell you the exact type of blood splatter. He said AI is very good at detecting eye color and things like that, showing how you could look at those videos. And he's like, these are just readily available. AI tools, these are not the more focused and higher level ones that law enforcement uses. And then had talked to them about how, as we all discovered at the Super Bowl, I don't know that this was good for Ring. Ring made a really sweet commercial about lost dogs and then announced to the whole world that they had strung all the cameras on the earth together, and it really hurt them, at least in the short run. But I was able to talk about how law enforcement can tie all those things together to protect us, make the world safer. It's a really fascinating conversation that our students were a part of. And then we walked into another thing to kind of piggyback off what we saw earlier. Our leadership kids are really just doing an amazing job. Amanda, their meeting, is it this week they're meeting with Hands On Nashville, or is it?
Just hot off the press, I think it will be March 5th. So
March 5th.
confirming that was the 3rd or the 5th, the 5th.
So Hands On Nashville is a Nashville organization that has organized massive ways to help schools in Nashville, but it's been people coming from the community to work at the schools. Our kids are leading us to go the other way for kids to come out of their schools to work in local charities, nonprofits, churches, community centers, things like that. And so our kids are working together from across the county to put together that program and to begin to ask the question, how can we leverage the 2,100 seniors and 2,100 juniors towards taking these community service hours and turning them really towards the good of the community, while also asking some questions. They're not quite here yet, but asking questions like, when we go back to our school, how do we cultivate the next group of leaders that will come and do this? And then how do we take what we're learning here at the Innovation Center back to our 9 traditional high school campuses and start to implement work there? And I think what's going to happen is you're just going to see an explosion of opportunities like what we saw earlier tonight, where kids are going to start. I know one of the young women went back to her career coach. She had done a session with the United Way and a session on AI, and she went back to her career coach and she said, I had no idea at 17 I could have such a big impact on my community. And that's the thing that brings life to the work that we do. It's so exciting. I had the opportunity later in the week to speak twice. The American Association of School Administrators was in Nashville last week. So there were roughly about 3,000 superintendents in downtown Nashville. Lots and lots of cowboy hats were purchased. I still don't get that. Nashville's not really a cow town, but hey, it brings in lots of sales tax that we all like. So anyway, on Friday we got to present. Ms. Skinner, I got to present on the work we've done with Course Mojo. We saw, I think we mentioned this at the retreat, this time last year 2 of our 12 middle schools were on track in ELA in 6th to 8th grade. This year 9 are, and 1 is a 1/10 of a point away. We'll be there soon. And we got to not only share that data, but also the work that we're doing around that Mr. Cripps and his team are leading. And then got to showcase that to people from around the nation. And it's really exciting. We're kind of partnered. Aldine, Texas is another very innovative school district in Texas, and then Denver Public Schools is who we presented with. Really a lot of exciting ways to brag and showcase the work that our teachers and administrators are doing at the school level. And then Ms. Skinner and I got to see a little bit of what's coming next, which will blow away what we've done to this point in terms of just providing more support to our students, more support to our teachers, really cleared communication of data that parents and students and teachers can look at to come together to understand what everybody can do to best support that child. It's just really a very exciting time to be in education, I think. And then on Saturday, I got to go back. Now the crowds were much thinner on Saturday after a 4-day conference, but we got to present Justin Alexander, and they're going to share some of that presentation, I think, Amanda, in March to you about where Teach Sumner has gone. And we had a woman from Pennsylvania that runs a similar type state level program in Pennsylvania come up. She's like, I need to talk to y'all because I want to see everything that you're doing. And it's really exciting just to showcase the great work that Amanda's team for Teach Sumner has done to, when you, Mr. Lancaster, when you do the math on the prom dresses, when you do the math on the fact that we have 83 teachers currently that are in our Teach Sumner licensure program, and most of the time those people to have taught in Sumner County Schools would have had to completed a master's degree that would have cost anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000. If you do the math on that, for us to be able to, it makes it, if you think about our trajectory with aviation at Liberty Creek, our first teacher taught for a year, and then he got hired at $350,000 to fly commercially. And he actually was on the tarmac with Diddy, like the FBI told him to step away from the plane. Little interesting Sumner County fact of Sumner County in the news. Our next one was Kai Perry, who's a retired Lieutenant Colonel Black Hawk pilot. He got an opportunity to go sell night vision goggles all over the world. He's in Dubai last week. Some districts won't offer programs like aviation because your instructors, you're probably not going to keep them for 20 years. You're probably going to keep them for a couple of years. But what's been really amazing is being able to provide an opportunity for them to do it debt-free so that we can continue to find top people that will come in and do it for 2 or 3 years and they're bringing in constant relevance into what's going on in the aviation world right now. The teacher at our aviation program right now at Vol State is a Southwest pilot. He was a naval aviator. He taught Top Gun pilots for like 20 years in the Navy. It's pretty amazing for our kids to get sit there and listen to the stories. And he assured us that he not only tells stories, but he also teaches them a lot about aviation. And that's exciting as well. Last thing I wanted to highlight and showcase, stepping away from last week, is Aaron Kortner had sent an email to the board, and I thought it was a very fair question to just kind of provide a little bit of an update on where we are on our SPED playground project. So we will start the decision of the team, and Ms. Aaron, jump in at any point if I miss anything. The decision of the team is that Gene Brown and Station Camp represented the two school campuses where we could make the biggest impact for a SPED playground immediately, given the time and the funding that we have. And so the architect firm is going to come back with plans for those two first. The goal would be probably in April for the board to approve the plans presented by the architect. And then that way we could go ahead and get everything ordered and break ground and start as soon as school's out and have those ready for the start of school in the fall. We also hope that the master plan, I think, will be ready around April on the same time frame, and that will give us time to begin to look. Ms. Kortner had a great question about what does this look like for a budget in the future. It'll be nice to get that back, and then we can talk to the county commission, we can talk to community partners. I know Ms. Norfleet is looking for grant. She's constantly looking for grant opportunities and writing grants for that. And now that we've had the committee that's met with the collection of community and area experts, and we'll have a master plan with an architect, it's going to make it so much easier for her to write big grants to try to help us move faster. So I can't tell you, like, next year is it 2 that we're going to try to do or 5 that we're going to try to do, but if we have the master plan, we'll be able to move considerably quicker. So really excited for April to come around and to see our report from our architect and from our team. So Ms. Herron, thank you for your work, and that concludes my report.
Questions? All right, seeing none, moving on. New business discussion and or action regarding Sumner County Mayor's request for EMS in White House. Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Comments? Questions?
I would just like some background on what this is entailing, and if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, so Mr. King, Mr. Mayor Isbell and Mr. Pease, that's over EMS, reached out to me. We've had a problem for a long time in White House. It's not a problem. They work really well together, but anytime you have a city divided by county lines, there's a problem of coordination of 911 services. And so the city of White House is dispatched from Robertson County, and it slows down arrivals of ambulances on the Sumner County side. We see it at sporting events, we see it at school functions. Sometimes it's like multiple minutes, not just seconds. And so that if you look on the plat that's there, there's 1 acre that's just adjacent. It's right out in right field at White House. Currently, the only thing that we use that piece of property for is there's a little bit of parking for coaches and umpires. So you're talking like maybe 5 or 6 vehicles. And the rest of that area is wooded. What we can put there, though, is like an EMS station for them to be able to dispatch out of Sumner County for that area of White House, along with a place for the sheriff's office to house a car there too. So, it's a 1 acre piece of property that we've had for quite a while in White House that we've never really been able to use. It's kind of an oddly spaced piece of property, but it will allow us to increase response times, just by working with the county. So we're not voting tonight to give this property. We're just voting there will be a lot of work that Mr. Presnell will have to do with county attorney. But what we're doing is we're saying that we're in favor of moving forward on this plan, and then that will allow the county mayor to get it into the budget to take care of all the things, all the hoops that they have to jump through on the county side.
Ms. Lancaster.
Yeah, so basically what we're saying is we're taking an acre of that property and potentially giving it to the county for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Will we, and this may be a question for Mr. Presnell, but I'm assuming it'll be contingent that they actually follow through, like and put the station there. Like,
Yeah.
if for some reason they didn't, we would get it back, correct?
Yes, and we would present what the terms will be to you once I work with the county attorney on that.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Oh, Ms. Brady?
I'll just add that from a White House High School perspective and the schools that are very close, having that ambulance bay would be a huge advantage to the students in that area and to our school community, more than the property used the way it is today. So as the White House representative, I'd love to see an EMS bay in that space.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's really neat. We have such a great relationship between our student health team and county EMA and EMS. And one of the cool things that will also open up with it being in that proximity to the high schools, it'll open up more opportunities for our high school students that are in health sciences to have the opportunity to do some internships, job shadowing, because, you know, we have a paramedic program at Vol State that we're starting to tie in. If we can, you know, there's a lot of opportunities with the Innovation Center at Vol State being so close. Historically, that program has primarily been open to Gallatin High School students, but it's very easily one that we can open up to high school students across the county, you know, with a huge need for paramedics.
All right, seeing no more comments, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, discussion or action regarding Westmoreland Middle Gym roof. Motion to approve?
Motion to approve 2, 3, and 4.
Motion to approve and group together 2, 3, and 4.
I have a question real quick on the Westmoreland Middle School.
If you'll give me a second, we can group together and then we can have
Second.
So, all right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, group those together. All right, questions?
I was at the Westmoreland Middle game when it started leaking, Merrill Hyde, and we had to go back to play a quarter and a half. So that's kind of.
You got a long rain delay.
Yeah. And you know, I guess some of the background on that, the roof was put on over an existing roof. So how is this? And I see this Duralast roofing system. Any background on how we can make sure it's the complete roof coming off and then this is going on, or how is this going to solve the problem?
So it's about $580,000 to take the complete roof off and replace a flat roof. And flat roof, probably the reason that this was built originally was because flat roofs were really hard to keep from leaking. So the question then becomes, you know, the problem was the way that I'm sorry. There's a term, yes, pitch. Yes, yeah. Look at the side, see all the people. But the pitched roof, I'm sure was put on there because of ongoing leaks in that flat roof. What Mr. Brown and his team found is we put a similar product to this, or it's the exact product we put on Portland High School last year. Portland High School at that point was the worst roof in Sumner County, and they put this surface on there and we've had no problem. Honestly, the only problem we had was it sent water off the roof like it was supposed to, and we had to go back and do some more gutter work and things like that because it actually, so it's basically like a, Mr. Johnson, help me if I describe this incorrectly, but it's basically like it looks like styrofoam. So Mr. Lacy, get ready. This was the big question we had in Portland, like why is there so much styrofoam? But it's not styrofoam, but it looks like it. But it basically sits on top of it, and they put a seal on top of it, and it's worked really well at Portland High School. Does that, Mr. Johnson, does that sound right?
Yeah, they call it a membrane.
They call it, go ahead.
A membrane.
A membrane, yes.
Any other questions? All right, so again, this is to approve 2, 3, and 4. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. Discussion or action regarding amendments to the general purpose budget. Motion to approve. Second. Comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, discussion or action regarding amendments to the federal budget. Motion to approve. Mr. Lancaster, second. Ms. Brenny, comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion of study session items. Mr. Johnson?
We will have a study session. Our next study session is on March 3rd. We'll have some policies for you guys, and then we'll also have some of our continuing march towards the budget, but I'm not exactly sure what piece we'll get to by then, but something related to that. If anybody's got anything they'd like to add, please contact me.
Also, if you have your strategic goals for the board, you can send those into Mr. Johnson.
And strategic goals, please send them in to me.
When are those due?
Before March 3rd.
Yeah, before March 3rd.
Preferably about a week before.
Preferably about a week.
All right, nothing else. And again, if there's any other study session items that anybody wants to add, then feel free to reach out and we can get those added. So we will wrap up with communications from the board, comments from board members. Mr. Lacy. Have a comment. All right.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to recognize J.W. Wiseman. I had an opportunity to attend last Friday their behavior bash, which really was recognition for academic excellence and leadership as well. And so just really well done by Miss Mayberry and her staff. But it was so cool as I see these young ones sitting in the back, to see these young kids recognized for, whether it's Student of the Month, their academic excellence, but it was just really a nice program, and I appreciate the opportunity to attend. And then a shout out to the PHS boys who regular season champs for boys basketball, and so excited. It's been quite a drought, I think, since 2001. So congrats, and looking forward to the tournaments.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Ms. Stewart.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the presenters here tonight. The older ones presenting while the younger ones are here is kind of exciting because they're already, little minds are going, and I just think it's wonderful. I will ask them that, never mind.
Ms. Brennig.
I want to give a shout out to the White House Instrumental Arts team. We had 13 wind ensemble students at Tennessee Tech's Festival of Winds and Percussion. Winter Guard held 4th place at Wilson Central High School Winter Classic. And indoor percussion earned another 1st place in their classification. So the White House Band is really racking it up this year. I also wanted to give a shout out to the middle schoolers in the Sumner County Academic League who are currently wrapping up their playoff as we speak. I was able to hit up the awards before I came over and see those students who are really passionate and super fun. And if the rest of you would like to join me, we can run over to the high school afterwards and see the rest of the tournament play. And then I also just wanted to take a minute to shout out Team USA. If you aren't watching the Olympics with your family, you are missing out on a really great opportunity to watch the grit and determination and humility, all the things that we talk about here, of a team of athletes that are just amazing to watch. So go Team USA.
Mr. Hollis.
Yes, one of the things I'm really proud of is the way we focus on the well-rounded students, not only academics but athletics. And we see a lot of these, we all follow social media and we can see the things that are put out there, everything that's really good going on. My shout out would go to the middle school cheerleaders at Ellis, Station Camp, Liberty Creek. They all won national championships in Orlando over the last couple of weeks. Actually, Liberty Creek won 2 national titles. Station Camp Wrestling won the region 3-time three-peat, and I think they're going. I think they have 12 going to the state. I could be wrong, and they're actually even going to England to compete in a wrestling tournament. So, a lot of good stuff going on with our kids, and I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, but I'm really proud of the focus on academic sports. It all makes a complete student at the end of the day. Lots of lessons learned. Thank you.
Mr. King?
Yeah, I'll just add to that. The beach cheer got 3rd in the nation, so congratulations to them. And just adding on to what you were saying, I'm also very proud of all the accomplishments that our students are doing. Thanks.
Mr. Evans?
Yeah, a couple things. Coming up on March 3rd is SCOPE, which is the Student Congress on Policies and Education, which I have brought up before. I would love to see somebody from Sumner County sign up. Do we have any students that we can send to that?
We're working on it.
Thank you. I'm leading one of the breakout groups. It was something that I did in high school. I feel very strongly about continuing that somewhere in Sumner County. Really quick, we had the Sumner Student Leadership Recap from Friday. It was the summit, which was awesome. Me and Mariah got to speak to all the different students that came to that, which was fun. We did about skills, like transferable skills, things that go on outside of high school and outside of in the real world. So I appreciate them asking me to come speak. It was cool to talk to a bunch of our student leaders in that setting. Secondly, I guess this is really important. Tammy, I read your Facebook post. I don't know what I'm supposed to, but I want to thank you for your service, and I think that you've done a great job, and I appreciate not only your experience, but also your leadership. So thank you. I'm sure you heard that from me. And as we head into election season, where everybody's going to have they're going to stand on their own issues and stand on their own points. Something that I feel very strongly about is walking with people, and those 3 young ladies exemplifying walking with people and meeting people where their needs are. And I encourage anybody that's considering running, or that as we head into this next season, that the focus beyond that, it should never be about a person. It should be about the people that we help. On Friday night, I got to MC Night to Shine at Northfield Church, where we go to church. 260 honored guests, kings and queens, got to come with their buddies, and it's a night it's a night for a reminder that they are worthy, loved, and appreciated, and honored. And for me, getting to be on that side, seeing some of students that either came from the Parks Department or some of our own families that we know around here, it was really cool also to see high school students from our area that served as buddies. So I saw multiple high school students from Beach, HHS, and some other schools that I knew that came and were buddies to our honored guests. So it was really cool for that. I strongly support anybody looking into that. I hope we continue to support that. I need to shout out Jackson Goddard because he helped me create my playlist. I'm DJing the Best Buddies Prom on Sunday at Bridgestone Arena. So Jackson helped me plan my playlist, so I want to shout him out. He gave me a great list of songs to play. And yeah, the last thing I have is I want to say thank you to the schools first and foremost for allowing the Parks Department to play basketball. People don't realize, and I know I'm not with the Parks Department anymore, but I still involved with some of the decisions that happen that go on. If we didn't have the schools, you had almost right at 1,100 kids play basketball in Hendersonville Civitan this season. And we were in 14 schools almost every day. And I really, like I said, there's just so much that goes into that. So really cool seeing refs and leaders that are students also being involved in that. It's just a really cool program. So thank you for continuing to allow that. Lastly, I know it wasn't here last month. It was my daughter's birthday. Something that I feel very strongly about is that I will not compromise my family's value, my family's time. And I want her to know that she is valued over any position that I hold. So that's why I was not here last month. So thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Lancaster?
All right, let's see. I don't have mine written down, but I think we missed a couple of schools in the cheer thing. That's why I can't ever brag on the cheer because you're always going to miss somebody and somebody's going to be mad. But I know Hunter Middle won the national championship, and I think Ellis Middle did as well, but I don't think they were mentioned. But anybody else is missed, it's called Stephen King and because they started the whole thing, outside of that,
poor leadership.
Yeah, that's right.
Right on the hills and waits.
Hey man, I'm just I really, the 3 young ladies that came from Liberty Creek's FCCLA tonight. It's amazing when I don't think they realize what they have done and created, and that's what's impressive about it is because they're sitting there like, oh yeah, I was like, how many dresses are in? When they got here, and I'm thinking in my head like, okay, 40, 50, 60, maybe, and she's like, oh, we got 250, and I'm like, okay. So, when you're sitting there, and we're not talking about you've got to be, that it's a financial strain on just about anybody when it comes to this season. I mean, I know there's been times when I was like, oh Lord, hold on, we got the money for that one this month, but having that ability, taking that burden off of a parent, just a family, like, hey, they're sitting there thinking like, we got to save up for 2 or 3 months, maybe to buy this dress. And, you know, I know people think, well, that's a silly thing to do, is spend that kind of money on prom dress or a homecoming dress, but it's not. I mean, that's a memory. It's not just an event, it's a memory. And you're allowing a student to have a memory without a memory of, oh, I couldn't go because my parents couldn't afford a dress. You're helping that. You're just taking that out of the equation. And I hope, you know, Mr. Evans talked about, like, students might be reluctant to show. I hope nobody has that mindset, because, you know, it's open to everyone. You know, there's no, like, application process. It's just show up and get you a prom dress, because it's a memory that we're trying to, those young ladies are trying to ensure happens for those students that need it. So that's just a great idea. When I first caught wind of it several months ago, and I was like, wow, this is a good idea. And again, I never thought, well, in a few months they would have 250 and be ready to go. But it's impressive. So I did my cheer, I did my prom dresses. That may be it for me. Oh, the only other thing is, we didn't really have any comments about the approval, but I did, you know, we had some ice damage at Beach High School with that cooling tower. And I did reach out to Dr. Langford this week. He said we probably should get some insurance reimbursement at a later date. So that's, you know, just want to make it through people. Every now and then I get somebody that says, well, y'all didn't even wait for the insurance. Well, no, we want to get the air conditioner fixed first. So anyway, and Ms. Hayes also enjoyed our time together. So appreciate you, and I guess, I don't know if that's congratulations on not running again, but I think that's what I feel like when that happens for me. Like, congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Stern? Ms. Hayes?
Thank you, Chairman Daniels. I think I've got 7. Is it 7 meetings, Jeremy? Wade Evans was referring to, I had a Facebook post today that I am not going to be running again. That'll be 12 years. I'll be here till August. If y'all put up with me. But each time I have run, this is the 3rd term, I've prayed about it each time. And I knew God directed me to run, whether I won or not. And I know that He's telling me to step back from this. My grandchildren, my family, my parents are 92 years old in South Carolina. I've been making multiple trips back and forth just to help my brother and sister. It's a lot. So this is a season I'll be stepping to that won't look like the last 12 years, but that's time for a change. So thank you. And that's enough of that. I'll start crying. I want to first thank the department heads and all the staff underneath them in each department for the board retreat. I thought it was phenomenal. For us to be able to hear all that goes on at the administrative level, the plans, the implementation, how it's pushed out into the classroom, the support for the educators, the data is keeping all that data, the positive results that are coming from all the work that is done. And I know you even just skim the surface. There is so much, and all of it is student directed. It is all about those kids. It's all about those kids. And to produce that well-rounded student, as Greg was talking about, it is academic. So we want to provide you everything that we can give you. The arts, very important in the life of a student, and athletics. So much. goes into the running of a public school system. I appreciate your leadership. It's just to be a part of this. I'm blown away, and we don't tell you all thank you enough. So thank you. I think we have recognized the varsity cheer when they have won. HHS has been up here. I've had Liberty Creek's been here. I was very impressed with the middle school showing up and showing out. I mean, how many? There were 5, were there not? Across the county, if not more. There, I don't want to miss anybody. Do you think it's crazy that we could have a cheer night and just recognize? Can we do that, Alan?
I don't think there's enough seats to bring it on.
Well, I mean, they don't stay all night.
Maybe we have 2 cheer nights.
Well, could we start out with multi?
Gym.
You could do a pre, you know, but let them be recognized. The discipline, the perseverance, the determination that these young women have. They dedicate hours and hours and hours to their craft. And it's nationally award-winning work. So I think that'd be fun. That'd be fun, just to have a cheer night. Yeah, it'd be really loud. I love a pep rally, don't y'all? I think it's a great idea. See, they don't. I do. Old cheerleader, and really I am. I'm probably the oldest person on this board. The arts, not last month, was it month before? Dr. Gary Wilson, the HHS Chamber Choir. They're doing February the 24th at 7 o'clock, a tribute to Andrew Lloyd Webber. And it will be the orchestra with the chamber choir. So you want to go, come on to HHS on February 24th at 7 o'clock. So y'all have a great evening.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. I will say if we have a cheer night, it'll take them 10 seconds to line up for a picture. And that's one thing they're good at. I don't know about everybody else, but no, I just want to kind of wrap up. Tonight's been a really cool night to recognize a lot of different people. And you know, I look at our school system. I look at 30,000 students across all of our schools from kindergarten through 12th grade, and every single one of those kids is unique. They have their own special talents. They have their own special traits. They have their own strengths. And I think what I would just say is when you look at all the opportunities that we have to offer, we talked about academics tonight, we talked about athletics a little bit, we talked about fine arts, we talked about academic league, you've got science, technology, all of the other things, there are so many opportunities that I think you as 4th graders are going to have in front of you. And what I would encourage you to do is to follow your passion. Be yourself. Be unique. Find what you're passionate about and dive into that. You might not know in 4th grade or 5th grade or 6th grade. It might not be till your 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. It might not be till your senior year. But find what you're passionate about and use that to give back. I think what I saw from our Liberty Creek students today is you could tell how passionate they were about the project and about giving back. You saw the choir students here, how passionate they are about music. You saw one of your own teacher's daughters, former student from Union, Madeline, who, that her passion is history and preservation of our community and the passion she has for her church and her community. And that's what I aspire all of you to do is find what you're passionate about and follow that. Don't worry about trying to be anybody else because you can't be anybody else. You can only be yourself. Be as unique as you want, be as you want to be, and go out and change the world. And so with that, thank you guys very much, and meeting adjourned.
March